now. Let's hear it.
Yeah, Mr. Dwight Howard, man. Let's give a live hand clap for Mr. Dwight Howard.
He doesn't know what's coming.
You're going viral, bro. For a lot of things. So I just gotta ask for the people. Me personally, I don't give a fuck, right? But they say this is the safest time. Are you gay, bro?
Is this what you want to talk about?
No, I don't want to talk about that, bro.
So then why are we talking about it?
Because you went viral off of that, bro.
I've been viral for a lot of things.
And I want to talk about that too.
And what I do in my personal life is nobody fucking business.
Thank you. I just want you to answer that.
I keep going. It's nobody business.
Right.
And if you inquiring, why?
Why? Because I was just explaining to
other people. Why?
Oh, not for me. Not for me. I don't give a fuck, bro. I want to talk basketball. I want to talk other shit.
You do care.
But they're going to say...
Who is that host, Eric? I'm not familiar with it.
I don't know who that host is.
But he cares, or else he wouldn't ask.
Well, also...
He's asking because his fans care. He's asking because he cares.
But also, he says, you're going viral for a lot of things. I guess, but this is... like, no, this is
for
the
basketball
one...
things?
Yeah, like, you went viral for wearing a Superman cape 12 years ago in a dunk like what?
That's one of my favorite dunk competitions.
But what else did you go viral for, bro? You being gay, like I don't what other in what other sense has Dwight Howard gone viral? What did I miss? It's just you. It's just you.
It's over. Yeah, go
ahead. Being gay, like what? Like he's trying to sugarcoat it. He's trying to like be nice. Like you've gone viral for a lot of things. Debatable.
A man named Stephen Harper, not the former Prime Minister of Canada, deep cut, you might say, as far as 8 years ago, filed a civil lawsuit against Howard in July alleging assault and battery, false imprisonment, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. All this is alleged, of course. We are not lawyers. Do not take our advice. We're geniuses, but in the law, we don't know anything for a fact in this case.
Bird law.
Your Honor, an expert in bird law, that's right, only. In Gwinnett County, Eric, that place keeps coming up. Gwinnett County or Gainesville comes up a lot with us. What's the other one? Rick Ross?
Oh, Fayetteville? Was it
Fayetteville comes up. We've got a lot of specific counties on this show. So, he never gave a formal interview to the police, says MSN, who eventually suspended the case. As a result, there were no criminal charges filed against him. Geez. But what he did say in the lawsuit, Harper says he met Howard on Instagram and agreed to meet at his home for a sexual encounter. While traveling there, Harper says Howard asked if another man or woman could join, which Harper declined. However, upon arrival of another man identified only as Kitty was there. Howard and Kitty allegedly then forced Harper to participate in sexual activity. He said that he felt he was extremely violated and humiliated, thought if he resisted, he'd be in harm's way. He was in complete shock. Howard's attorneys say he engaged in consensual sexual activity, and he's hoping for a judgment without trial, basically, throw it out, and he has to pay for his attorney's fees. And, quote, what was a private consensual encounter was made public for profit, and Mr. Howard looks forward to bringing the truth to light in a court of law. Eric, can an NBA not an NBA champion, was he? Can an NBA star have a gay three-way without it being brought up into false sexual assault claims? Allegedly.
Well, obviously, okay, you can do it, but it will be made public. It doesn't have to be a legal thing, but you're not gonna. I don't think anybody for one split second thinks that that's gonna happen, and nobody's gonna find out about it. But I will backtrack a little bit on Dwight Howard's virality because he did go viral a handful of years ago, but wasn't that for like trying to like text or sext or be involved with an underage female? And it's going to be very hard to. Well, allegedly, it was a handful of years ago, and I think I remember this, but I do feel like it's also going to be hard to find because this is the news right now, right? So it's going to be hard for you to Google Dwight Howard without this coming up. But if you dig deep, I think it was a handful of years ago, he may or may not have allegedly been accused of trying to contact a young woman.
Are you sure it wasn't this?
Dwight Howard's 14-year-old son facing allegations of inappropriately touching No, that was earlier this year. This was a handful of years ago. This was This is a little while ago. So look, don't quote me on that. You could fact check that. I don't. I mean, look, as long as we're already smearing the guy,
We're not smearing anyone, Eric.
and look, I also would just go out on record saying that I never liked Dwight Howard. Like even as a basketball player, he was always like kind of corny. He did have that one good year in that slam dunk contest, but otherwise, I think he was always kind of. Eh, you always have the speed racers outside.
My
Um,
apologies.
he always this is gonna sound bad knowing what we know now, but he was always me as someone who identified as an NBA player, always seemed cancerous to the locker room. And I'm not suggesting for one split second that it would be very difficult to have a gay teammate. I would never say that. But it always did seem like he wanted I don't
Annoying.
know. No, okay, boom.
He did
That's the
seem
word.
annoying.
That's the best way to put it. Yes.
Just the way he like smiled and carried himself, he did seem annoying. But he could jump very high, just like DeAndre Jordan could.
And he's already 7 feet tall, so that's like double
Yeah.
it. It's crazy.
Trouble. So this article was written by The Guardian, a man named Lee Escobedo, and he says gossip about Dwight Howard's sexuality detracts from the gravity of assault claims. So what was odd here is that he goes about saying how Jason Collins in 2013 came out, the NBA player. Obama said something. It said it was great. Kobe Bryant said it was great, and he got the praise. But Dwight Howard didn't get the praise, and there's good reason for that.
Because they didn't like him anyways.
But the problem I see with something like this is exactly the reason why it's not important to praise anyone for their sexuality. You say it's amazing that Jason Collins said he was openly gay, which nobody actually cares about, you know? And then Dwight Howard, all of a sudden he's gay, but he's not a hero.
Some people do care. There is a contingent that does care, right? Like
Well, yes, I shouldn't say nobody, but Dwight Howard is gay, and all of a sudden, we're not celebrating him. We're gonna wait until, to see what happens with these charges. Either being gay is very important, and admitting that you're gay, or being discovered as gay and not having a problem with it. Either that's very important or it's not. Just because the guy may or may not have done something wrong, how does that detract on whether or not him being gay is supposed to be celebrated? This is what I don't understand. We can talk about how great it is to be gay or trans in 2023 when we can spin it in a positive light. Look how great this person is. They're trans. They're an admiral. But
swimming champion.
When it's the transgender kid in, I forget the Commonwealth state, that when it beat up or molested a girl in the bathroom, that one was a huge story. Virginia. I had to broadly say Commonwealth because I forgot which state. When that happens, it's not amazing to be trans. When it's a pool shooter, we'll say, it's not great that we don't need to mention that they're trans. So we're going through this a lot these days, especially with that hockey player incident who was black, the neck cutting. We go through this a lot, and it's just identity politics are so convenient, aren't they? That's my point.
Identity politics are incredibly convenient, right? They only it only goes in one direction. And yeah, Dwight Howard, gay or not, annoying guy. I don't know him personally. I'm sure he's nice in person. I'm sure if you ran into Dwight Howard at the pub, I don't know where he's even from, like at the grocery store, he would be nice to you, I'm sure. But they're just like, think about like Dylan Brooks. That's your people, right? Dylan Brooks, I believe, is Canadian, right? Like, you know what I'm talking about? Dylan Brooks, the villain. Dylan the villain. He used to play for the Grizzlies with John Morant, and he was always like Dylan Brooks. He's like the villain of the NBA. Like the guy, okay. He's kind of like the new Draymond. Like they hate him. He plays dirty and like. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is people don't really like him either, right? Like people don't really like Draymond. There's just guys that kind of rub you the wrong way. Pause.
Matt Barnes.
Matt Barnes. I like Matt Barnes though. He had a little beef with. Anyways, the point is, gay or not, Dwight Howard's always been kind of annoying.
Turn it up, Jordan.